Go ahead and get started with our Chronicles of Narnia. Okay, so you're going to keep that notebook out. You're going to just turn to a blank sheet. First of all, let's check our homework from last week before we do any more writing, okay? Kaden, I'd like you to put that away, please. All right, where's your comprehension from last week? Oh, here it is. Okay, so you guys had comprehension questions for chapter 2. Did you guys finish those? You getting a nod? Yes. Kalani, yes, no? Why?
I wrote it down on a page in my journal, but I can't find that page.
Okay, I don't want to hear any more excuses. We can't do this anymore. Do you understand? Okay, homework is homework. It has to be done. This is February. There's absolutely no reason that the comprehension questions should not have been done. You guys have 5 to 7 subjects to deal with at school as 5th graders. This was one little assignment. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to review the vocabulary words really quickly. All right. What are nymphs?
A nymph is a beautiful female figure in Greek myth who lived in wells.
Okay, so we find nymphs in water or wells. All right. All right. And they were female figures. What's a stag, Rhian?
A male deer.
A male deer. Very good. Jollification, Kalyani. What does that mean?
Joyful celebration.
Good. Very good. Okay. Dryads, Emily. What are dryads?
Beautiful female figure in Greek myth who lived inside of a tree.
Okay, so we find dryads inside of trees. We find nymphs in water. And then the last one, does anybody want to take a stab at pronouncing it?
Silenus.
Silenus. What's that, Anya?
It's a figure in Greek myth having the body of a man with ears and tail of a horse.
Okay. Very, very good. Jollification means happy. We talked about expressions. One of the expressions in chapter 2 was on my account. Rhian, something happens on your account. It happens
because of me, like if someone gave me their kid while they were at a party, I lost them. It would be on my account.
Very good, sweetheart. Good job. Okay.
This connects with this one.
Okay, so let's look at your comprehension questions. I don't need to, if your answer is way off, I need to know about it, okay? If it's pretty close, remember we said we don't have to do long, elaborate, I mean, you got to use your details, but you don't have to do race on these, okay? Yeah. What does Mr. Timonus's phrase, daughter of Eve, mean? Okay, daughter of Eve. He calls her daughter of Eve all the time. What do you think that means?
Does it mean like...
I didn't call on you yet, Emily. Sorry.
A female human.
A female human, right. Have you guys ever heard the story of Adam and Eve?
No.
Right, from like the first, well, you know, okay. All right, give me a second. Number 2, Emily, read it and then pick somebody to answer.
Wait, hold on. I need to find the questions I wrote down. How did the fawn convince Lucy to come to his cave? Rhian.
He said that his house was nearby, and he had a fire, and they could have some tea and have a big cake.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, Rhian. All right, Rhian, read the number 3 and call on someone.
What had Mr. Cunliffe promised to do with Lucy? Why did he not keep it?
Okay.
Kalyani.
He promised the White Witch that he would kidnap any human he saw and bring it to her, and he didn't keep that promise because Lucy was actually really nice girl.
Good. And what did he do? He actually helped her back to the lamppost, right? All right. You guys, very good. Okay.
We have the critical thinking.
Critical thinking. Kalyani, read it and call on someone.
I don't have the page with questions on it.
Have you ever been pressured to do something that was wrong? Discuss how you handled it, Anya.
However, I don't really remember if I have. I said I've never been pressured to do the wrong thing, but I think I've been asked to do the wrong thing. I just can't remember.
Okay, have you ever experienced peer pressure when your friends are like, oh, let's go do this, but you didn't really want to do it? Maybe it was a wrong thing to do. Emily?
I actually, my friend has this like older brother who's kind of like mean to her, and one of my other friends were like thinking that like we should like mess up like his like room, and I thought that was like the wrong thing to do, and I told my friend that she could just talk to him and not use like violence.
Good job. Good job. So who are you connecting with in the story? What character was being pressured?
I would have to say the fawn.
The fawn, right? So that's making a text to self connection there, right? Everybody see how that's a text to self connection? Okay, you can relate. Emily can relate with the fawn. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Turn to a blank sheet. And we're going to do comprehend. Okay, so let me share my screen. All right, so you're going to write the lion, witch, and wardrobe. Chapter 3. Yes, Rian.
I wrote a different thing for chapter 2 comprehension. Questions ending.
Which one?
For the third question in the comprehension for chapter 2, I wrote a different thing.
Okay, what did you write?
That the fawn said Lucy would be safe inside his house, but the fawn would actually be trying to kidnap her, which wouldn't mean she was safe.
Okay, and what was the question?
I think it was the third one.
How did the fawn?
What had Mr. Thomas promised to do with Lucy? Why had he not keep it?
Hang on, let me look at this really quickly. Are you looking at what what had Mr. Toomis promised to do with Lucy?
Yes.
Why did he not keep the promise?
Yes.
Okay, what did he? Okay, so let's answer that first question. What did Mr. Toomis promise to do with Lucy?
Oh, I see what I did wrong.
Do you see that? Like he had promised the white witch, right? That he would actually do what? What had he promised to do to Lucy?
Kidnap the daughter
of Queen or daughter of
Daughter of Eve, right? Kidnap the daughter of Eve and take him to the white witch. So that's the first part, the kidnapping part. And then the second part was, well, first of all, Rand, did he do it or not?
Didn't.
He did not. Okay, so why didn't he keep his promise? Why didn't he?
Because he got fun.
Can you tell me?
Because he never met a human before, and now that he was friends with her, he didn't want to kidnap her.
Right. He realized that Lucy was actually a kind little girl, and he had a change of heart. He didn't want to kidnap her anymore because she was a good girl, and he didn't have the courage to actually follow through with what the witch had asked him to do. He didn't really have the courage. Did you feel like he's a courageous character, or do you feel like he's a little bit more down to earth and humble? Right? So he's not as
Page when he started crying, I was all confused.
what?
Before I flipped the page and it was on the page that he was starting to cry, I got all confused.
Right. So like he was kind of having a panic attack on all those pages. Like I've done something really, really wrong. And right. So he was starting to kind of show that he was conflicted. On one hand, he was asked to do something for the White Witch, but on the other hand, his mind was telling him that he should be doing something else. And that's why he was getting all that anxiety and he was getting emotional about it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I would do is fix your answer on that one, okay? Okay. All right. So chapter 3, guys, is Edmund and the wardrobe. Okay. All right. So here we go. Vocabulary. If somebody is going batty, what does that mean?
Crazy.
Yes, they're going crazy. Okay. A hoax. What is a hoax?
Like someone's like tricking you sort of, but it's not real.
Good. Okay. Is everybody writing these down?
Yeah.
All right. If something is spiteful, I need somebody else other than Anya. Anya, you're doing great though. Spiteful. Somebody is spiteful. They might spit on you or they might push you down.
Or like
Spiteful. Mean.
Like aggressive.
Mean and hateful. Okay. Good. Groping. Groping. This is what Lucy did when she first went into the wardrobe. She was like doing this.
Oh, like feeling?
Feeling into the dark. Okay. I know you know what this is. Kalyani's sulking.
Like if you're sad and you wanted something, but somebody doesn't let you get it, you're gonna sulk.
Okay, so what's another synonym for sulking?
Pouting.
Pouting.
Sad.
Yeah, pouting. If you're sulking, you're pouting. What about a sledge? That might be new.
Sledgehammer?
Kind of like, well, in this book, a sledge is the synonym for a sleigh. Anybody ever ridden a Shetland pony before? Like at a fair, those little ponies?
No. Oh, wait, I know what it is. Like a little tiny pony.
Yeah, so they're not big. Ponies are very small, right? They're not as big as horses, but something that you should know about them is that they are very strong.
And mean.
They can be kind of mean. Okay, this one's a good one. Gilded. If something is gilded, it's
Gold?
covered with gold, right? How'd you know that?
There's a shell.
It's gilded, it's covered with gold. Okay, in this book, they use the word rug in an unusual way. It's not like the rug that you're thinking about. It's actually used as a blanket used to cover one's legs. Okay. Do I need to slow down or are you guys okay?
I'm
Slow
good.
down.
Slow down?
I'm okay.
Okay. I'm gonna have to clear this so we can do a little bit more. Anya, thumbs up if you're done. Everybody.
Wait, I don't have everything.
Okay, where are you? Caden's
On
done.
Shetland ponies.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Okay, I'll start another text box here. Okay, this word you're gonna see in this chapter, pray. When somebody says pray in this chapter, they're really saying, they're not saying like pray, like say a prayer, okay? They're asking you to tell me. Okay, and then hereafter. We see that word in older literature, like more classic. When somebody says hereafter, they mean from now on. From this point after, from now on. Does that make sense, right? Hereafter?
Yeah, like now I'm here.
Okay, so here are your expressions. There are only two. The first one is sneered and jeered. Anybody want to take a guess at what that means, what that expression means, sneered and jeered? Okay, Anya, what do you think?
Like making fun of someone.
Yeah.
Like sneered is like smiling, like laughing at someone and making fun. And jeered is like teasing someone.
Right, so teased, unkindly, make fun. And the last one here is make it pax. Make it pax. Ooh, that one's a tricky one.
Is this the last one?
Yep, this is the last one. It means make peace. Or it can mean make up after an argument. So make it pax. When you make a pax, make peace. Make it pax. Okay, so those are your words. I'm going to say a sentence and I want you to tell me which word makes sense in the sentence. You don't have to write it down. Okay, we're just going to kind of play vocab trivia with these words. Are you ready? Okay, Peter blanked his knuckles on the back of the wardrobe to make sure it was solid.
Rope.
Groping.
Actually,
Sneered and jeered.
I didn't give you this word. It was a synonym for knocked. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Edmund blank and blank at Lucy for the next few days.
Sneered and jeered.
Sneered and jeered at Lucy, right? What does that mean again? To tease.
Tease. Unkindly. Make fun.
All right. After a few moments, a blank drawn by a reindeer came into view.
Sledge.
A sledge, right? What blank are you? The lady asked Edmund.
Shetland pony.
What blank are you? The lady asked Edmund.
Hoax.
Hoax, yeah. She's like, what kind of trick are you? Because she probably never has seen a human being before, right? What hoax are you? Right? All right.
Are we gonna read chapter 3 today?
We are, but I want you guys, we're going to do chapter, okay. Clear for me. Write these comprehension questions down. Do you guys want to read together today?
I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do? I was just going to have you read by yourself, but we can if you want to.
Yeah, I want to read one. Can we like read one chapter in class and then read one by ourselves?
Okay.
I don't want to read a chapter by myself.
Why should the next few days have been delightful? And why did Lucy not enjoy them? Why did Edmund follow her into the wardrobe? And last one, why did he think Lucy didn't answer his call? Okay, those are the three for chapter 3. Now we're going to read and make sure you skip some lines. And I did, I'm typing fast, so this word is enjoy, right? Not incoys. Just fix that, because I can't go back in here for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I can. Let me see. Oh, maybe I can. Okay. I am really proud that everybody actually read chapter 2. Did you enjoy it? Was it good?
Yeah.
Are
It
you
was actually kind of short though.
what, sweetie?
It was a little bit short.
It was short, yeah. I know. I'm gonna assign you guys a little bit more this week. Okay, let's turn to chapter 3. And today I'm gonna listen to your fluency.
Where's the freaking book?
What?
I don't see it.
Okay, so chapter 3, Edmund and the wardrobe. So today I'm gonna listen to you read. We're gonna talk about good reading and fluency, right? Good reading and fluency. This is a classic book. There are going to be words in here that might be more challenging, okay? We don't skip words that are challenging. Good readers really try to figure out what those words are by using context clues and by using some chunking strategies where you actually take your thumb and you cover up the word and you try to figure out the first part, the middle, and the end. All right. So I'm going to start us off on the first page, and then I'm just going to call on you randomly. This is what we're going to do. Once you read, you then get to ask a question to someone else. You pick the person and you pick the question, okay? My request to you is try to pick something a little bit more on the challenging side. Why questions are really, really good because they help us to infer some of the text. Okay. So if you read at the end of your turn, you ask a question to the group and pick someone to answer. All right, so I'll show you what I mean. Okay, is everybody there on chapter 3? Yes. All right, so Lucy ran out of the empty room into the passage and found the other 3. It's all right, she repeated. I've come back. What on earth are you talking about, Lucy? Asked Susan. Why, said Lucy in amazement. Haven't you all been wondering where I was? So you've been hiding, have you? Said Peter. Poor old Lou, hiding and nobody noticed. You'll have to hide longer than that if you want people to start looking for you. But I've been away for hours and hours, said Lucy. Okay, what am I doing with my voice?
I'm making it high.
Like changing it to look like to sound like the characters, like
Right,
how they're talking.
exactly. And that's right. I heard Kaden say too, making it high and low. That's called inflecting. Okay, inflecting your voice, not just making it the same, but you have some inflections, high and low. Why? Because when you do that, it helps you understand the text better and it makes for a better read. Okay, so that's what we're going to practice doing today. We're not just going to read fast. I don't want to know how quick you are at reading. I want to know if you can story tell and read out loud with some good voice and inflection. All right, here we go. But I've been away for hours and hours, said Lucy. The others all stared at one another. Batty, said Edmund, tapping his head. Quite batty. What is Edmund saying? That she's what?
Crazy.
Crazy.
W-R-I-T-E. Okay, crazy. What do you mean, Lou? Asked Peter. What I said, answered Lucy. It was just after breakfast when I went into the wardrobe, and I've been away for hours and hours and had tea, and all sorts of things have happened. Don't be silly, Lucy, said Susan. We've only just come out of that room a moment ago, and you were still in there. She's not being silly at all, said Peter. She's just making up a story for fun, aren't you, Lou? And why shouldn't she? No, Peter, I'm not, she said. It's a magic wardrobe. There's woods inside, and it's snowing, and there's a faun and a witch, and it's called Narnia. Come and see it. The others did not know what to think, but Lucy was so excited that they all went back with her into the room. She rushed ahead of them. Okay, Anya, go. Oh, my question. What was different about what Lucy's perception of time and the others' perception of time? What was different? Emily?
So for Lucy, it feels like it has been like so many hours and hours, but for the others, it just only felt like a few minutes, or maybe just like a little moment.
Good job, sweetheart. Okay, follow along, and then Anya, read for like a few minutes. When you have a good stopping point, stop, ask your question, and pick the next person to read. So everybody better be following along because we're not going to tell you where we are.
Okay. She rushed ahead of them, flung open the door of the wardrobe, and cried, "Now, go in and see for yourself." "Why, you goose," said Susan, putting her head inside the wardrobe and pulling the fur coats apart. "It's just an ordinary wardrobe. Look, there's the back of it." Then everyone looked in and pulled the coats apart. They all saw Lucy herself, saw a perfectly ordinary wardrobe. There's no wood and no snow, only the back of the wardrobe, with hooks on. Peter went in and rapped his knuckles on it to make sure that it was solid. "A jolly good hoax, Lou," he said as he came out again. "You have really taken a sin. I must admit we have believed you."
Okay, what is she saying? A jolly good hoax.
"A very good trick."
Good. Keep going.
"But it wasn't a hoax at all," said Lucy. "Really and truly, it was different a moment ago. Honestly, it was, I promise. Come on, Lou, there's got to be a bit far. You've had your joke. Hadn't you better drop it now?" Lucy grew very red in the face and tried to say something, but she hardly knew what she was going to say and burst into tears. For the next few days, she was very miserable. She could have made it up with the others quite easily at any moment if she could have brought herself to say that the whole thing was only a story made up for fun. But Lucy was a very truthful girl, and she knew that she was really in the right, and she could not bring herself to say this. Should I stop there?
Sure, if you think it's a good stopping point.
Okay. For question. What does it mean when she said that Lucy knew she was in the right?
What does it mean that Lucy was in the right?
Should I call on someone?
Mm-hmm.
Kalyani.
She was trying to tell the truth, like he was actually on the truth side, but she wasn't being believed.
Good job, Kalyani. Excellent. Okay, who's reading? Kalyani, you want to read? All right. Good job, Anya.
The others, who thought she was telling a lie and a silly lie too, made her very unhappy. The two elders did this without meaning to do it, but Edmund could be quite spiteful, and on this occasion he was spiteful. He sneered and jeered at Lucy and kept on asking her if she found any other new countries in the cupboards all over the house. What made it worse was that these days ought to have been delightful. The weather was fine and they were out of doors from morning to night, bathing, fishing, climbing trees, and laying in the heather, but Lucy could not properly enjoy any of it. And so things went on until the next wet day. That day, when it came to the afternoon and there was still no sign of a break in the weather, they decided to play hide and seek. Susan was it. And as soon as the others scattered to hide, Lucy went to the room where the wardrobe was. She did not mean to hide in the wardrobe because she knew that would only set the others talking again about the whole
Wretched.
wretched business, but she did not want to have one more look inside it. She did want to have one more look inside it.
She did or she did not? She
She
did.
did.
Okay. Would you, if you were Lucy, or would you stay clear of that room?
I would have a look.
You would have a look. You would be curious.
Stay there.
Caden would stay clear. He's like, no way, Jose. I'm not going near that thing.
I wouldn't go inside it, but I would try and see if there was no back.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Good. Okay. All right. So keep going.
She was beginning to wonder herself whether Narnia and the Fawn had not been a dream. The house was so large and complicated and full of hiding places that she thought she would have time to have one look into the wardrobe and then hide somewhere else. But as soon as she reached it, she heard steps in the passage outside, and then there was nothing for it but to jump into the wardrobe and hold the door properly closed behind her. She did not shut it properly because she knew that it is very silly to shut oneself into a wardrobe, even if it is not a magic one.
It's good stopping point right there. Question?
Why would Lucy want to go inside the wardrobe even after the Fawn had told her that about the witch and how he was going to kidnap her but didn't?
Okay, call on someone.
Anya.
Wait, we call on somebody who hasn't gone yet.
Emily.
So she's probably like really curious because like even though Mr. Tumnus had told her like that she would be like in danger, she probably would still like maybe like want to see him, or she's like maybe curious that the wardrobe isn't magical anymore.
Okay. All right. So curiosity. Have you ever heard the phrase curiosity killed the cat?
I
Right?
feel like I heard of it.
Yes. What does that phrase mean? Curiosity killed the cat, Rian. What do you think that means?
So curious that he got into something that he wasn't supposed to do.
Good. Yes. Excellent. 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 Okay. All right. Rian, you want to read? Let's hear you. Everybody put yourself on mute because we hear you better when we're on mute. Okay.
What are we on again? Sort of forgot.
It's the last sentence says not, even if it's not a magic one.
Now the steps she had heard were those of Edmund, and he came into the room just in time to see Lucy vanishing into the wardrobe. He at once decided to get into it himself, not because he thought it was a particularly good place to hide, but because he wanted to go keep on teasing her about her imaginary country. He opened the door. There were coats hanging up as usual, and the smell of mothballs and darkness inside. And no sign of Lucy. She thinks I'm choosing to complicatly, said Edmund to himself. And so she's keeping very quiet after that. He jumped and shut the door, forgetting what foolish thing this is to do. Then he began feeling about for Lucy in the dark. He had expected to find her in a few seconds, but was very surprised when he did not. He decided to open the door again and let some light, but he could not find the door either. He didn't like this at all and began moving wildly in every direction. Lucy, Lou, where are you? I know you're here. There was no answer, and Edmund noticed that his own voice had a curious sound, not the sound to expect in a clipboard, but a kind of open air sound. He also noticed there was an unexpectedly cold.
Rian, one moment. The way that we pronounce that word is cupboard. It's not cupboard, right? It's a cupboard. It's another word for cabinet. Okay, cabinet. All right, but a kind of open air sound. Keep going. He also noticed
that he was unexpectedly cold, and then he saw a light. Thank goodness, the door must have swung open of its own accord. He forgot all about Lucy and went toward the light. But instead of finding himself stepping out into the spare room, he found himself stepping out from the shadow of some thick, dark fir trees into an open place in the middle of the wood. There was crisp, dry snow under feet and more snow lying on the branches of the trees. Overhead there was a pale blue sky, the sort of sky one sees on fine winter days. In the morning, straight ahead of him, he saw the clean ground, see chunks of trees, the sun just right and very red and clear. Everything was perfectly still, as if he were the only living creature in that country. There was not a single robin or squirrel among the trees, and the wood stretched as far as he could see in every direction. Shivered.
Okay, good stopping point. Great reading. Rian, question time.
Why did Edmund decide to go inside the wardrobe?
Okay, pick on someone.
Emily.
Emily just went.
Yanni.
Caden's the only one, I think.
Yeah, Caden.
Why did Edmund go in the wardrobe?
Why did Edmund go into the wardrobe?
Because he knew Lucy was in there and he wanted to go find her.
Okay, and what were they playing?
Hide and seek.
All right, is that good?
Well, he wanted to keep teasing her. Yeah, because he wasn't the seeker. He wasn't it. He just wanted to go tease her because he saw her go into the wardrobe.
Okay, all righty. Okay, who wants to read next? He now remembered. Okay, Anya, you already read, didn't you? Okay. Emily? He now remembered that he had been looking for Lucy.
He now remembered that he had been looking for Lucy, and also how unpleasant he had been to her about her imaginary country, which now thought that she must be,
which now turned out not to have been imaginary at all.
which not turned out have been imaginary at all. He thought that she must be somewhere quite close, and so he shouted, "Lucy, Lucy, I'm here to Edmund." There was no answer. She was angry about all the things I've been saying lately, thought Edmund, and thought he did not like to admit that he had been wrong. He also did not much like being alone in this strange, cold, quiet place. So he shouted again, "I say, Lou, I'm sorry. I didn't believe you. I see now that you're right all along. Do come out. Make it packs."
What does that mean? Make it packs.
Make peace.
Yeah, make peace. Let's make peace. Okay, good. Keep going. Good reading, Emily. Keep going.
Still there was no answer. "Just like a girl," said Edmund to himself, "sulking somewhere and won't accept an apology." He looked round him and decided he did not much like this place. He had almost made up his mind to go home when he heard, very far off in the woods, a sound of bells. He listened, and the sound came nearer and nearer. And last
At
there swept
At last, there swept into sight
At last there swept into sight sledge drawn by 2 reindeer. The reindeer were about the size of Shetland ponies, and their hair was so white that the snow hardly looked white compared with them. Their branching horns were gilded and shone like something was on fire. The sunrise caught them.
Wow, what a great description of these reindeer. Do you have a visual in your mind? They're whiter than snow, right? And they have gold horns because they were gilded. We talked about what that word meant, right? Coated with gold. And then they were used a metaphor to describe, the author used a beautiful metaphor to describe those horns. They shone like something on
Like they're on fire.
fire when the sunrise caught them. Wow, that's beautiful figurative language. Great example of good figurative language right there. Anya, were you going to say something?
No, I just said like mine was on fire.
Yeah, like they were lit on fire, right? Very good example of great figurative language. Okay, keep going, Emily. Their harness was of scarlet leather. Okay, is this a good time for you guys to visualize this? Are you having, like, my mind went straight to a visual. Did you?
I need to go get something. I need to get a bookmark so I can like make sure I'm on the right page.
Okay, and we'll keep reading. Their harness was of scarlet leather and covered with bells. On the sledge driving the reindeer sat a fat dwarf who would have been about 3 feet high if he had been standing. He was dressed in polar bear's fur, and on his head he wore a red hood with a long gold tassel hanging down from its points. His huge beard covered his knees and served him instead of a rug. So remember, like, his beard is like a blanket that covered his knees. We talked about that word. But behind him, on a much higher seat in the middle of the sledge, sat a very different person. A great lady. Oh boy. Taller
The white witch.
than any woman that Edmund had ever seen. She also was covered in white fur up to her throat and held a long, straight golden wand in her right hand and wore a golden crown on her head. Her face was white, not merely pale, but white like snow or paper or icing, except for her red mouth. It was a beautiful face in other respects, but proud and cold and stern. The sledge was a fine sight as it came sweeping towards Edmund, with the bells jingling and the dwarf cracking his whip and the snow flying on each side of it. Okay, who have we just met?
The white witch.
The White Witch.
Did you visualize her in your mind?
Yes.
By the
Picture
description,
on the next page.
I'm just imagining like a crazy looking woman, but who has a pretty face.
Very beautiful, all dressed in white, beautiful white complexion. Okay. All right. Anya's showing us a picture. Do you have a picture in your book?
It's on the next page.
Okay.
Yes, her crown is quite big.
Let's
Can we
see.
flip
I
to the
don't think we have that picture, do we? Oh, yeah, we do.
Her legs look a bit weird. I think it's because it's covered with fur.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Anya's
I'm
right.
gonna read the rest of this because, oh, wait. Emily, did you have a question you wanted to ask us for your reading? And then Caden's going to finish us off because we only have a little bit left. How do you think Edmund was feeling?
Yeah.
Pick someone.
We did everybody.
Okay, you can pick me.
Okay.
I think Edmund is about to lose his marbles, is what I think. Because number one, he's in Narnia. He has no idea where he is. Number two, he doesn't know where Lucy is, right? He doesn't know how he ended up here. And he's having all these mixed emotions about making fun of her. But in fact, she was telling the truth. And number three, of all people to meet in Narnia, is this witch, this white witch who we already know wants the daughter and sons of Eve to be captured.
So far, we're living up to the title.
Daughter of Eve, son of Adam.
The son of Adam, sorry. Thank you for that clarification, Maria. You know what I meant though, right?
What'd you say?
Okay. I said the son of Eve, but son of Adam, daughter of Eve. Same, you guys understood, right? Got the gist of that. But thank you for that clarification. Okay. Well, if I was Edmund, I would be petrified. What does petrified mean?
Terrified.
Terrified. So
It's like a better
extreme version of terror.
Very, very, very scared. And
So scared that you can't even move.
Right,
And his face turns white.
right. Okay, Caden, right here.
Stop, said the lady, and the dwarf pulled the reindeer up so sharply that they almost sat down. Then they recovered themselves and stood champing their bits and blowing. In the frosty air, the breath coming out of their nostrils looked like smoke. And what, pray, are you? Said the lady, looking hard at Edmund.
Okay, what do we say pray means? Remember?
Like a joke. Oh,
Talking about
Back in
that
your
was hoaxes.
what does pray mean in your notebook?
It means to tell me.
Okay, tell me. And what, pray, tell me, are you? Said the lady looking around at Edmund. Okay, keep going, Katie.
My name's Edmund, said Edmund rather awkwardly. He did not like the way she looked at him. The lady frowned. Is that how you address a queen? She asked, looking sterner than ever.
And I visualize her saying it like this. Is that how you address a queen? Okay, keep going. I beg your pardon, your majesty.
I beg your pardon, your majesty. I didn't know, said Edmund. Not know the Queen of Narnia, cried she. Ha, you shall know us better hereafter. But I repeat, what are you? Please, your majesty, said Edmund. I don't know what you mean. Please, your majesty. Wait, I'm at school. At least I was. It was holidays. It's the holidays now.
All right. Okay, chapter 4 is Turkish delight. Chapter 4 is Turkish delight, okay? Okay, so your job is to read chapter 4. We're going to spend the next couple of minutes writing down our vocabulary and our comprehension questions. That is all I want you to do, is read chapter 4 and do your comprehension questions. Do you guys, instead of me doing writing, do you want to read 4 and 5? And do you
Yeah,
want
4 and 5
to
sounds
writing
better
this
than
week?
writing.
No.
Is that good for you guys?
Wait, what are we doing?
Who
Yeah,
said
4
no?
and 5. I want to read 4 and 5.
Okay, who said no?
Me.
Why?
I want to do writing.
Okay, well, I'll give you a different assignment, but we'll do some writing. We'll do some writing with this, okay? All right, let's write down. Did you guys come up with, oh, we got to talk about your process writing worksheet as well. We'll do that in a minute, okay? All right, let me share my screen. Okay, clear. All right. You guys ready? Okay, we're gonna do vocab. Chapter 4. Here we go. Write with me, please. Okay. Son of Adam refers to a human body. Dominions. That's a land ruled. Oops.
By a witch.
I really don't like these text boxes. So a dominion is a land ruled by a king or a queen. Ugh. Mantle is a large cloak. And the title of this book, does anybody know what Turkish delight is?
It's like a sweet.
It's a kind of candy, similar, it's kind of similar to gummy bears.
Yeah.
Okay, do we know what nobles are? They're kind of like in rank below the king and the queen,
Yeah.
right?
We learned that in Middle East.
We did. We learned that in the Middle Ages unit, right? And then do we know what quarters are? They're people, they're not rulers, but they stay at the royal court. Okay. Snappishly is like bad tempered. You know that, right? Okay. And flushed. If you're flushed,
Like your cheeks are pink.
you're like upset, uneasy, you get red in the face. Yeah, upset. Okay, the expression for this one is poor sport. You know what that means, don't you? Somebody's a poor sport, you're not a lot of fun. All right, so here are your comprehension questions. For the week. And you have some for chapter 3 as well.
Then writing down the.
Okay. Ooh, this one's a good one. How did Edmund feel when the Queen first invited him to sit with her?
She's a kidnapper.
Definitely.
You think so?
Yeah, like Mr.
Probably usually-
Tumnus was a kidnapper, and he said the White Witch told him to kidnap.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Maybe he it's like when she wanted like the daughter of Eve, technically Lucy, she didn't get her pretty much, so but she came among Edmund, and then probably she's trying to kidnap him now.
Gotcha. Good prediction, Sarah. So number 2 is, what did he want as he ate that Turkish delight? Now, there was something unusual about the Turkish delight too. I'll just say that. Okay. Oh, this is how, not HOE. You know that, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Number 3. There's a lot of good questions in this one. What did the queen say she'd like to do with Edmund? And she also tells Edmund something interesting about the fawns. Okay, can we keep going?
Yeah. Wait, are these the 3 for chapter 4? Or are there more for chapter 4?
No, there's a couple more for chapter 4. Chapter 4 is kind of an important chapter.
Alright. Are we gonna do chapter 5 comprehension also?
We are, but not, we're just gonna do critical thinking, one critical thinking. Guys, these should be quick questions, okay?
Yeah, they are.
They shouldn't be taking up your whole day. All right, what number were we on? 4? I need that percent. Here, I'm putting it. Okay. Just write the questions. Okay, last question. Why do you think, this is going to give you a clue to kind of what happens here. Why do you think the queen changed from being angry to and threatening? Go get it, it's printed.
You misspelled change.
What does sympathetic mean?
Probably being like calm and peaceful.
If you show sympathy for somebody, you can feel sorry for what they're going
For
through.
someone.
Okay, you can feel somebody's pain. You kind of feel sorry for someone, right? You're showing sympathy. A lot of times you show sympathy if somebody's lost like a loved one. If you go to like the store, you would get a sympathy card for them. Have you ever seen that section in the card section that says sympathy? Yeah. I'm not going to give you comprehension for chapter 5. Chapter 5 will just be a fun reading chapter.
We have to do 3 and 4.
You do 3 and 4, that's it. Okay, Katie, this is the last question anyway, so you can just. Okay, so. Should we write down our homework? And then we're done.
Can I write it down on here?
Okay. Homework. read chapters 4 and 5. And then you're going to do comprehension for 3 and 4. Brienne, if you want to do comprehension for just one of the chapters instead of both of them, your writing assignment in lieu of doing one of the comprehension is write from your graphic organizer that you did for what item, like how to make item did you do? Legos, okay. So you're gonna write a how to paragraph on, and then whatever item.
This is everybody.
No, you have to pick. Okay, reading is, you have to do 2 of the 3 things. So you have comprehension for 3, 4, and your writing. Okay, you can pick to do both of your comprehension and skip your writing, or you can do 1 comprehension and 1 writing. Fair, Brian? Okay. Now you know you're going to use that graphic organizer, that process planning sheet, to put it all together with transition words now and good word choice. Okay, and then you can present it to us next week. Does that sound good? Okay. Any questions? Anybody want to share anything? Is everybody okay? I'm proud of you today. So today we learned what conjunctions are. Conjunctions connect what? What's that fancy word?
Clauses.
Clauses. They connect clauses, and clauses are parts of a sentence. Okay, spell comprehension correctly. It's right there.
It's like 2 parts. It's like 2 phrases that make a sentence, kind of like.
Right, exactly. Okay, you guys did great today. I hope you enjoyed Turkish Delight. And
Is that actually real candy?
yeah, it
I'm
is.
gonna eat some Turkish delights while I read the chapter.
Are you? Okay.
I have some.
I'm gonna see if my friend has them. She is from Turkey.
Where do they sell Turkish Delights? Probably at Trader Joe's.
Well, at the Jerusalem bakery there.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I think my mom might know those.
Yeah,
the Jerusalem bakery has it.
Yeah, they do. Okay. So chapter 5 is Turkish Delights, and chapter 6 is back on this side of the door.
Maybe for our homework we could try Turkish delights.
You could. You definitely could. The chapters are not that long, by the way. So
We can do this.
We'll talk about it, and then the chapter that we'll read next week is called Into the Forest. So, and looking through all of this, how many chapters are there?
18.
We're a third of the way done after we read next week. We'll be halfway done next week. We'll be halfway done with this book next week. Okay?
But then there's more books and lots of them.
There is, but then we'll decide. We're going to really have to focus on writing and comprehension too. But this one, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know you guys were kind of like a little bit apprehensive when I said, we're going to read this book, because you hadn't read Narnia, but I knew that you would like it. Rian, are you right? Are you enjoying it? Okay, good. How is Hatchet going at school with your target class?
I've only read chapter 1
You guys have only read chapter 1 of Hatchet?
and 2.
Oh boy. Well, you're ahead of the game, aren't you?
I finished, there's another book, I think it was called Brian's Return. I finished that book. And then I'm on The River and Brian's Hunt.
Oh my goodness, you're into this, aren't you?
Yeah, I have audiobooks and regular books.
Good. I love that you read. Reading is super important, right?
I finished Dog Song.
Dog Song. Kaden finished Dog Song. Okay.
This is the mini Turkish delight that we have.
Oh, cool. Look at that, guys. There's a Turkish Delight. Can you see it? It's kind of they're kind of like gummy bears. They're powdery on the outside.
Oh, I've seen candies that are like that, but I don't think I ever tried them.
All right. Well, maybe if we were face to face, I would tell Anya to bring some for everybody, but we're not. Rian?
I have some. I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right. Okay, friends, well, go enjoy your Sunday. It looks like it's a sunny day today. Who's going to watch the Super Bowl?
I'm not really that much of a fan of football.
Who are you rooting for?
Tampa, I don't know.
You better
Chiefs.
be rooting for Tampa.
No, Oh, Kansas City.
No,
But
We're
they
not
have
gonna-
Tom Brady.
we're not going to be a house divided.
Tom Brussels sprouts.
No Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, no
I'm
sprouts.
cheering for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
No,
Chiefs.
no.
Tampa has Tom
I
Brussels
grew up in
sprouts.
Florida. No,
That was my mom.
exactly. So why?
That's Tampa. It's not
Oh,
Tampa.
come on, come on.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
We
Who's
all
Tom
know
Brady?
he's gonna win. Tampa
Kansas
Bay. No, why are
Earlier
you?
this season,
No,
Kansas
I'm not
City
happy
won
with
like 42-7.
no. The underdogs are gonna win always.
Never.
Okay, guys, have fun. Thanks for joining me today. And I'll see you. Do we have class next week?
Do we have what?
I don't know if we have class next week. It's
Well, it's a break.
Oh
next
yeah,
week.
it's gonna be Valentine's Day.
yeah, we don't have class next week because we are on break. So I'll see you on the 21st.
Oh,
Okay.
So he doesn't know.
okay.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.